Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Fishkeeping Jamaica Valley here. Now today my video is primarily to debunk some of the myths that persons may have with regards to fish keeping. Right? Yes, I'm at work, I'm in the computer lab, but this is something that I really need to talk about. So I'm going to spend probably about 5 minutes and talk about it, right? Okay, there are some myths that are out there and some persons that are in the hobby for a very long time have them, right? Some myths that are out there and some persons have these myths up for a very long time that are out there, and I'm just going to look at probably about 3 of them, right, for the period of time in which I have. The number one myth in which I hear one of the big wigs talk about the other day is the fact that fish have 3 to 5 minutes memory, 3 to 5 minutes brain, right? I have myself usually believe that until I actually look at certain aspect of fish keeping and the fish itself. Number one, have you ever gone to your fish tank ready to feed your fish and the fish actually go exactly the same place where you always feed them every time? I was gonna do this video actually demonstrating this, but I don't want it to overshadow the emphasis in which I want to place on this issue. So therefore I'm at a place where it is totally out of the view of fish keeping. I'm at a place where it's no prejudicial background will actually overshadow what I am doing, right? I don't want you to be saying, hey, I feed the fish, hey, I saw you feed the fish. I want you to concentrate on what I am saying. Thus I am at this moment. Okay, so the thing is that fish don't have 3 to 5 minutes memory. Fish remember where you feed it. Fish remember that you are gonna catch it once the net goes in the water, so it runs. The fish know within its brain that, for example, a cichlid have several fries, right? Fish know within its brain, a cichlid especially, and other fish also know within its brain, right, that the fries are to be protected. And that's one unique thing about cichlid. It takes care of its fry, even if it's for a few days or months or years, right? So therefore, I have chromites, and you always hear me talk about my chromites. And anytime I push my finger within that pond, and I get the nips on my finger, I know that fries are in that pond, and I should not go near, right? So fish know, and fish always have this memory within it. Say, listen, this is that will happen, and that is that will happen, right? Okay, the number 2 things in which I would like to share with you with regards to myth in which persons have regarding fish keeping, right? Water change is not necessary. You might be saying, what? But you do water change? Water change is not necessary. Water change is not necessary if your system is set up in a way to manage the water that exists. You see, you might have a 100-gallon tank, and in that 100-gallon tank you have 5 fish, probably about 2 or 3 inches fish. However, that 100-gallon tank have a lot of plants, aquascape, wonderful, nice filtration system. Water change is not really necessary for that, and let me tell you why. You see, the fish produce what you call waste, and this waste is actually broken down into ammonia, nitrates, nitrites, and the plant itself will actually use these nitrates and nitrites. When the waste become harmful is when we end up having overstocked tanks, very overstocked tanks, yeah, but also good stock tanks. For example, you might have within that same 100 gallon, you might have 3 Oscars. Now that water needs to be changed, right? Because Oscars are poopers, you understand? And the waste that is in that, right, it can't be managed by plants. And another thing, plants and Oscar don't go, right? Plants and pleccas don't go. So it depends on what you say, how you arrange a thing. I have known persons for months, for years, who have not done a water change. The only thing they have done is actually top up, because afterwards I've done a video on this with regards to temperature. Afterwards, what happened is that the water within itself becomes concentrated with minerals, not necessarily with waste, but with minerals, because what you have the substrate releasing minerals. If you did not know, I'm a geography teacher, sociology teacher, social studies teacher. I'm in the hearts, right? Now, what happened is that when you, and this is one of the reasons, I've never mentioned this really before, but this is one of the reasons why I don't really in tune with substrates, right? Sand and gravel and stone has minerals in it. And if you say that you're going to have your fish in soft water and you have decoration with sand and stone and gravel, what happens is that it might be slow, but it's worth listening to. Now, what happens is that the sand and the gravel have minerals in it. Now, water is one of those elements in life that actually works on material, unless it is what I call it non-porous, right? Unless water cannot go through it, everything will be good. But once water can go through any rock, any sand, any particle, what is going to happen is that you're going to end up with the water actually dissolving the minerals in the of the rock and of the sand, right? So eventually minerals will actually exist within the water. Now this mineral is evident when you realize that the side of your tank, it is a soft water system, and the side of your tank have some white scaly stuff on it. This white scaly stuff is really minerals that cannot be evaporated as the water is evaporated as a result of heat, right? So as a result of that, you find that minerals concentration in the water becomes heavy, right? So therefore you need to top up so as to ensure that the mineral level within the water, you know, is at a manageable level for the fish, right? If you have some fish that is of soft water, you know, they like soft water, then no, you would do some RO water, you will do some mechanism to actually create a buffer that whenever the mineral level actually rise as a result of the substrate that you have, your fish will be okay. So that's one myth, right? Water change not necessary. I don't do that because what happened, my filtration system doesn't allow me to do that. I don't have the amount of plants to facilitate that. Remember what I'm saying? It's a myth to say that you have to do water change. You don't have to do water change if your system is set up in such a way to manage the water, right? The same water can be used, but you just replace it whenever water is evaporated. Now, another myth in which a lot of persons have, and I've been hearing this over and over and over again, the whole idea of putting lights in your tank to allow for the plants to grow. Now, a lot of persons are of the opinion that lights, the bright lights, the bright fancy lights over your tank is necessary for the plants to grow, right? The only way I see this necessary is if you actually have your tank in a dark dungeon, that there is no light that is seeping through anywhere at all, which will allow the plants to grow, right? To top it all off, some persons have like probably about 2 or 3 fish in the tank, yeah, and at the same time the lights are on like probably 18 hours for the day. I mean, that is crazy, man. Imagine somebody holding a bulb over your face. Imagine somebody holding a bulb over your face for 18 hours for a day. And you know a day have 24 hours, right? How do you think the fish feel? Now, after having that light over its eyes for so long, after The fish having that light over his eye will be stressed after a while, and you'll be wondering, why is it that my fish is dying? I think it is the carbon that's in the water. I think the fish is suffering from some ailments. No, more time when the fish dead, because a year fault. Why? Because they have the lights on, the lights stress the fish. One of the most common illness, right, in which fish actually, one of the most common illness, yeah, in which fish actually suffer from and dies from within the hobby is stress. So I sum up everything to say, one, fish have memory. What happens is that fish coming like a lady who meets a guy, get pregnant for a guy, and the guy leave her. She meets another guy, and she likes the guy leave her again, right? So she continued to do that until she end up with 8 children. Is that to suggest that she doesn't have memory to remember what the first guy have actually done? No, it is just that how she have, it's just a part of her, just part of her being, right? So fish are very simple, right? And they are very trusting. That's one thing with fish, they are very trusting. Okay, and number 2, in which I look at the fact that water change not necessary. Why I do water change, but if you set up your system, for example, if you do hydroponics, aquaponics, right? You don't need to do no water change. You can use the same water for years, because what happens is that the system actually circles the plants, use it, and it goes around, and it is actually cleaning itself. You understand? Both the plants and the fish enjoy the whole process, right? And number 3, the lights. Man, turn off the light, man. That's stressing. Hey, one of the things that FBI use so as to get persons to actually tell the truth when they actually interrogated individuals, in which I've actually watched on movies, right? Not that I know for a fact. I've never been a part of that, right? Is to actually use a sleep deprivation theory, right? What they do, they and this is based on movies, right? Not based on facts in which I know. They actually put the thing over your eye like this and have the bright light in front of you, and you're unable to actually close your eyes, so therefore you're unable to sleep. So therefore it bothers the whole psyche of you. So after a while you get ill and you feel as if you want to talk everything that you know, right? So this is really here. I hope that you actually understand what I'm saying, right? I just realized that there's a little light in the video, but this is my take on the whole issue about lights, memory, and water change. Thank you for making me fish keep in Jamaica. Peace. Enjoy it.